right, Henry, I got some questions for you that the men want to know.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. How can I love her when I don't feel respected?
Well, that is a powerful question.
Mm-hmm.
You do loving your wife is a command. We're talking about a wife, right?
Yeah.
Loving your wife is a command. So you do the command regardless. Okay? It's like any other command of God. You do it regardless. Now, if your wife doesn't respect you in the process of you loving her, you as a man have to teach her to do so while also staying in your design to be a leader and a head and loving your wife.
What do you mean by teach her to do so?
You have to show her what love is. Whether that's as a leader, you put her in the company of wives who love their husbands. You can do that. Whether you're showing her examples of what love is, even though she may be out of that role. And also explaining to her why it's important and what that looks like. Because a lot of times people do things and don't realize that they're in error of doing something. So if a wife comes in, she just grew up like that. She may not know that is disrespectful and not showing a whole lot of love towards you in that way. So
Okay.
a number of things you can do.
Okay, next question. What does it mean to be the head without being a tyrant?
Well, most people would attribute a tyrant to a dictator or whatnot. So I think what the question is getting at is being a head and being abusive as a head, not listening to your wife's counsel, not paying attention to anybody else, just running rampant. I don't care what anybody say. I'm the leader, I'm the head, I'm the dominant factor, so I'm going to do any and everything that I want to do and not mindful of the rules and the regulations and the family that you're supposed to be protecting.
Right.
And a lot of men fall into that. But that's where the help of the wife comes in. As a wife, you're supposed to be one wise. Wisdom is coming from the wife. And you look at that word in scripture, wisdom is feminine. A wife is supposed to help her husband, even in that understanding that, your aggressive nature is hurting us in the sense that it is dictatorial. But a lot of times I will have to say this too, that a lot of times there's nothing wrong with being an aggressive leader or head. And people may not fully understand that because as a man, you're making decisions that people will not understand. Sometimes your wife won't understand it. Your kids won't understand it. People at the job won't understand it. People just don't understand it. You just want to do it in a loving way, but never minimize your masculine or minimize your manhood to do so.
Okay. All right, next question. How do I father my kids when I didn't have a good example?
Learn. Learn. Read books. Get around other men who know how to do these things or that you think are great at doing this. Iron sharpens iron. This guy may not be good as raising kids, but you may be good at as a father at something else, building, tents outside or whatever. Exchange that information, exchange that experience, and exchange that knowledge. But you have to have an ever-learning mindset to do that. So we unfortunately see a lot of kids that don't have the father figures that they need or whatnot. But you can learn those things, you can practice those things, and realize there's no perfectness in it. You're not the perfect father. You're gonna make mistakes and stuff like that. Own up to the mistakes and learn to be better at what you do.
Okay, last question.
All right.
How do I lead my family in prayer and devotions if my spiritual life has fallen off?
You need to identify why your spiritual life has fallen off. And prayer is a connector, right? Connected with God is a relationship with God. So don't remove yourself from the prayers. Don't remove yourself. Pray more. Yeah. So if you feel disconnected or that you're not in good space to do that, pray more. And with the praying more, obviously you want to pull of God and pull from God in His Word, and you'll find answers in His Word. God's voice sounds like His word.
Right.
And people ask me all the time, what does God's voice sound like? His word. This is what God has said. So you go through scripture, and you go through prayer, and you repeat that and stay with that, no matter if it doesn't feel as good as it once did. So,
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. What? All right now.